Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. I do want to remind you, The Price of Business television show appears every Sunday on the Biz Television Network. 38 million homes coast to coast. Plus, we've got it possible where you can watch it online live, no matter where you are, as long as you have internet. So you can learn more about that at priceofbusiness.com. It's the beginning of a new year, and a lot of people are looking about how they can do 2016 better than 2015. A lot of people saddled with debt, and we're going to talk a little bit about really an interesting alternative and how to look at that with our next guest, and she's Leslie Tayne. She's an attorney out of New York. Leslie, welcome to the program, and I hope I didn't butcher your last name there. Is that correct?
No, you got it perfectly correct.
Great. I was
Thank
afraid
you for having me today.
that E may be long on the end, and it wasn't, so I'm grateful for that. So there was a little bit of navigating involved, but I love what you do as a practice. Kind of give us an overview, a practice overview, if you will.
Sure. Well, I'm an attorney, and my practice concentrates in the area of consumer debt resolution and alternatives to bankruptcy. So what that means is that we work with consumers, individuals, business owners to resolve outstanding debt, free up cash flow, avoid taking money from assets, and avoid any type of option of bankruptcy.
Awesome. I like that, because part of the problem is that, I have a moral issue around people who just completely abdicate their debt. And this third way that you're talking about has some, responsibility for the consumer to navigate through the process. Because frankly, if you don't have that obligation, bankruptcy only takes, how long? Another 7 years, and you can look at it again. It can become a permanent escape that can lead to to real serious problems long term. So I love the fact that there is what looks like a healthy third way, if you will.
Absolutely. It's definitely a very viable option for a lot of people. It's also not as well known. There is some negative stereotypes about the options that are available as alternatives to bankruptcy, and it's so much less detrimental to your credit, your long-standing financial issues, and you have so much more control when you are going into a process and a procedure where you're working with a professional who is working directly with the creditors to get everything resolved the right way.
Okay, that's interesting. So talk a little bit about how this procedure works.
Basically what happens is when you realize that you're having difficulty either paying your bills or you're paying the bills but there's no money left over and the balances don't seem to be going down, and you're either having thoughts about what am I going to do when I have other expenses and I have no money in the bank. When you have those kind of thoughts and considerations, you would reach out to somebody like myself. We would have a phone consultation to go over some details about what's going on in your life and your overall goals. And I would explain exactly what's going on and how this works with your creditors. And basically what we would do is we contact the creditors and we work with those creditors that you have where you're struggling to reduce the principal balances that you owe and pay them out of a predetermined budgeted dollar amount.
Mm-hmm. So all of this is based on negotiations. So it's difficult to say what you'll end up paying ratio-wise, but kind of give us a sense of what you're typically shooting for.
Well, we do have some numbers that we work off of. I've been doing this a very long time, almost 20 years now, so I have a pretty good idea of what I'm going to get when I'm dealing with those particular creditors. And I have relationships with all the banks and creditors, collection agencies, law firms. We do know them. We deal with them on a daily basis. So that relationship piece is really important, and that's the difference between somebody like myself being able to get excellent results and somebody who is not as experienced, or even the consumer trying to do it on their own. So our numbers we're shooting for, depending on the client's circumstances, are sometimes we're able to get the entire debt wiped out, and sometimes we're looking at paying the creditor 30, 50% of what's owed. So depending on the client's circumstances, the available funds, the bank, sometimes even the time of year, a lot of those factors go into determining it. Unfortunately, there's no straight formula to make that determination, and one of the things that I caution people about always is if you call up a company or you call somebody and this is what they do, and they tell you that they can guarantee what they will get you, that should be a huge red flag, because there is no way to guarantee what any creditor is willing to do today, tomorrow, or 6 months from now.
Yeah, absolutely. You're negotiating one creditor at a time. So that's really a very good warning sign. So you're out of New York. Are you helping clients in other states?
Yes, we have clients in a multitude of different states all across the country. So we can help clients in a lot of different areas of the country. I mean, we've had clients in Alaska, Hawaii, Florida, Texas, all over the place. So we can definitely work with clients in other jurisdictions.
Leslie Tayne, she's been our guest, and you can learn more about her and the Tayne Law Group by going to attorney-newyork.com. attorney-newyork.com. Thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, great topic. Very interesting. All right, when we come back, we're going to have much more for you. I do want to remind you the best content here does show up over there at usdatareview.com. While they're liking on Facebook, follow it on Twitter. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Spend it wisely on this station.